Here at LqP Vineyards, is that how you call your?
LqP Valley Vineyards.
LqP Valley Vineyards,
Yeah.
With John and Sue Roizen. And we're just so privileged to be here and looking at this beautiful property and all these vines. And I have to say, John, I know you've been here in the county for several years and you've been a farmer. What made you decide to start vine dressing?
Well, in 2001 there was, 2000 there was a piece in the AURI paper, Agricultural Utilization Research Institute, and I think that's published out of Crookston. It was a quarterly paper, we still get it, about grape growing in Minnesota, and that sparked our interest. And our son was going to Southwest State at the time, and he was it happened to be on the harvest trail that summer, combining wheat from Texas to Canada. Yeah.
Wow.
And he happened to be working with two New Zealanders, because this all ties in together here.
That's fine.
We talked about this that fall, and he was fed up with Southwest State. He was an English major and what, journalism minor or something like that. Yeah, he didn't like it.
Wanted to do something different.
He wanted to go to New Zealand.
Good.
Because some of his mates, as he called them, that were on the crew, were from New Zealand. And we went to a Grape Growers 101 put on by the Minnesota Grape Growers, and he attended that with us. And shortly after that, he found that he could get accepted into a course in New Zealand, viticulture and enology. Enology is the study of wine. And he got accepted, and we decided we'd plant 1 acre of grapes, and we sent him to New Zealand. And at that time, you could live in New Zealand for a year and pay your college, your room and board, for 6,000 American dollars.
Wow.
In 2001.
It's a good tip for those that need a reasonable education.
Yeah. And that sort of started it. Corn prices were flat, kind of back full circle. And we never envisioned it to become like this. And we never envisioned that it would be what it is and what we do. I farmed for 42 crops. This is my 42nd crop this year. I've enjoyed this more than anything else I've done in agriculture. It's a lot of work, but it's
Rewarding.
It's rewarding.
And to be clear, you're not a winery.
No, we're just growers. We sell to wineries. We're selling to different wineries this year, and we're selling to a winery by Clara City, Hinterland, and we're selling some grapes to Chankaska, down by St. Peter, and we're selling some grapes to Indian Island, east of Mankato.
Nice.
And that man is the Ray Winter owns, well, he and his family, his daughter and his son. He's about my age. He used to be a dairyman, and he quit farming, and he went full time into nursery and winery, and that's all they do. So that's kind of the story. You know, the crop isn't going to be as good this year not because of the wet spring, but because of the cold winter.
Right.
The crop will be a little smaller. There are vineyards in Minnesota that froze to the ground this winter. This past winter, north of here.
You should probably mention back to Aaron's story. He finished his schooling, and he was looking for a place, and his visa ran out in New Zealand, so he was looking for a place to practice his newfound craft, and was calling around. He happened on to a place in New York State, and called him up, and was interviewed over the telephone, and this fellow's name was Mark Wagner, and he decided that he would call Aaron back. And so Mark talked it over with his girlfriend at the time, and they decided that they better hire this young lad, because he was one from the Midwest, and so he had a good, strong work ethic, and also she happened to be from Ortonville, Minnesota. So
Wow.
she said, we
Interesting.
need to hire this boy because he's from back home.
Yeah, hire the boys from back home.
So
Great.
He is in New York State now, and the story goes, you know, he got a job, he found a girl, they got married, fell in love, and so that kept him out there. But he was supposed to come out here, and we were going to start a winery. But you know, as you know, fate would have it, it turned out for the best, I guess. You know, that he stayed out in New York because of that connection that we have with New York State and with Aaron in the winery out there. We were able to purchase a grape picker, and we used to have like 20 to 30 folks that would come and help us pick the grapes on weekends. And it was a novel thing, you know, if you have just 1 acre of grapes, but after having 3 or 4 or 5 or 10, you know, it got to be like, oh, we don't want to exhaust our friendships.
Yes.
Novelty wore off.
Yeah. And really, it was hard to find labor around here. It's very limited. You know, you offer people a good wage, you offer them a dinner, you offer them wine, and still, you know, we couldn't find the numbers of people that we needed. So that kind of forced us to look elsewhere. And I have to compliment John for always thinking, you know, we've got to mechanize this, you know, because you think, oh, the grape stomp, you know, picking by hand, you know. And
It sounds romantic, but it's probably not as
not
efficient.
Yes, it's
Not
not as
romantic.
efficient.
It's not romantic.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
So,
It's you know, it's just a few acres, but some of these crops that we've taken off of here have been 5 and 6 tons to the acre.
Wow.
It's a lot of fruit.
It's the soil must be great.
Well, it must be. We have prodigious growth. There's 3 different soils in that vineyard, and it's well drained. It's well situated for the sun, and
It's wonderful.
It's a good spot.
Well, we really appreciate you inviting us to let us come and tell your story. And it's such a gorgeous area. And what is the thing you like the most about being in LqP County in terms of your business, in terms of your home? What's your favorite thing that you can think about being from here?
Well, I am 5th generation here.
Yes. This is where family was.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful area, and I think many people across the state who haven't been out here don't realize what they're missing in terms of the beauty of the prairie and the beauty of the rolling hills and the river and the lake, and you're just in a beautiful spot.
yeah, we're in just a little treasure land here.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Jerry Austin, so you know, he's a musician, and originally from Canby. And when he sings about that place down there where he's from, you know, he calls it just a little bit east of west, right on the edge of cowboy country.
There you go.
When you get up to the Buffalo Ridge.
Right.
Yeah, there's diversity here. It isn't flat as a board. It's rolling
It's
prairie.
beautiful.
Some people would
Argue that.
don't like that, but
That's okay.
yeah, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
We're okay with that.
Yeah, I suppose it's home to me. I don't really know how to brag it up.
Well, we're just glad you're in the county, and it's so nice to have a vineyard in our county and to have that diversity in the agricultural market here in terms of knowing that we have our own vineyard in the county. It's great. And we thank you so much for letting us take a peek at what you're up to out here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.